I'm going to respond to two questions. One is from Harriet, who simply asks, how do you get rid/manage disassociation/trauma? And the second, which kind of relates to that, is from Rita. When did you first realise that those wonderful qualities were in you all along? Intelligence, insight, wisdom. Are you disassociative, as many trauma survivors are? Okay. I find it difficult to see those qualities in me, other people. So I guess I get that off other people. People tell me things like that, and in sociology, there's a concept. It's called the looking glass mirror, and that's, in society. Society is our mirror, and what we put out is digested by others and then reflected back in on us. So the messages that I receive from the messages that I put out kind of give me an indication of who I am and where I go from, where I go. Trauma and hides, it disguises, it inhibits, it debilitates my ability to be who I am. So, hence it's really important, if I want to discover who I am, that a part of that process is to deal with it, I don't like that word deal with, but to understand that trauma, to learn to manage that trauma. Trauma doesn't magically go away. And a part of my trauma can still be disassociation. I used to be afraid of the concept of the term disassociation. I mean, it was pretty scary sometimes. I mean, I've been in situations where I've disassociated to the point that I didn't really know how unwell I was, how unwell my body was. So I've had a high temperature, for example, but not realised it, because once my body becomes uncomfortable, my mind disassociates from my body. It just disengages. So there was a danger there. And again, understanding that is very important. Understanding what the triggers are around that is very important. And having a grounding spot to reconnect is also very important. I mean, I have my dilly bag, my little trinkets and marbles and things that I have that I use to keep me grounded, to keep me in that reality. But it's not so much an issue for me today. I just need to be aware of it. And I can actually use it to my advantage today. So, and I guess one of the really good things about owning and understanding my trauma is that it does have benefits. It can actually have benefits. Empathy is one of the benefits of understanding your own trauma. Being able to understand other people, work with other people. That's a really important that I understand myself and understand my trauma and how I work through my traumas. I recall some years ago that I was doing quite a bit of work with people that have been traumatised in one form or another, and all the counsellors and people around me were talking about doing trauma-informed courses and becoming trauma-informed. And I thought to myself, well, gee whiz, I better go and do a course on how to be trauma-informed. Anyway, I went to sign up for this course, and I knew the person that was going to do the workshop and the modules for the unit. And she looked at me and she said, I don't think you need any lessons to be trauma-informed. She said, I think you've got a pretty good understanding of what trauma is and how to work with people that have experienced or are experiencing trauma. Understanding those processes is very important. Not being afraid of working with myself is also very important. Not being afraid of my disassociation. It's not a bad thing unless I don't understand it, or I can't ground myself out. So that's really important. So disassociation, yes, I've experienced it, and I still do on occasion. Being vague, sometimes mistaken for disassociation, I often experience it, and I don't mind, to be honest. It's just a part of who I am, being vague. So